Hey everyone, I hope you guys are having a good night. I wanted to bring you along with me tonight and cook dinner with me. I don't do a lot of fish recipes, but my husband is wanting fish tonight, so I found some in the freezer. Let me show you the package. I've got this wild caught Pacific cod, and I will tell you that one serving is 120 calories, 26 grams of protein, and a half a gram of fat. So if you're going to get something like this cod, you're going to want to make sure that you add enough fat to bring it up. So that's what we're going to work on tonight. We bought this probably before we started keto, or along the way when we didn't realize. So I want to make sure that we put enough good healthy fats in this recipe so that it will be well balanced for us. So, and then the other thing I'm going to make tonight is southern spinach greens, and you'll see what I mean when I get there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn you down right now, and I'll show you my workspace. So currently I've got a couple of bowls, and here's my pan that I'm going to put my cod in. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some butter, and I'm going to put it in the bottom of my pan, and I'm going to put it in the oven. I have preheated, this is 1 tablespoon of butter, by the way. I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees. So all I'm going to do is put this in here so that it can melt. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a couple of things to coat this with. So I've got here pork rind dust and Parmesan cheese. And these are both very nice and full of fat, so that will help to add a little more fat to the recipe. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an egg and I'm going to whisk it up. We're going to make this cod crusted with pork rind dust and Parmesan cheese. I'm also going to be using Old Bay seasoning and some cayenne pepper so that it's more of a blackened fish flavor to it. I don't make fish. So I am going to be keeping it simple this time and just using the Old Bay seasoning because I really have no idea how to make what other spices would be good. So I just went over to my sink and I grabbed a little bit of water because we want to make this an egg wash. Now the package that I have, it came with 2 pieces of cod in it, and I just went ahead and thawed them out. Now if you see on the package, well, maybe you can't see because I tore it off, it says you don't have to thaw it before cooking, but I went ahead and did that because I knew I was going to be making this recipe. Now this other bowl is going to be for the coating, and I have right here a 1/3 cup measuring cup, and I'm going to take 1/3 cup of the pork rinds and 1/3 cup, hold on, 1/3 cup of the Parmesan cheese. Now you're probably wondering why I'm doing it this way, is because I put this measuring cup into the pork rinds and I don't want cross-contamination because I am allergic to pork. So we've got 1/3 cup of the Parmesan cheese, 1/3 cup of the pork rind dust. Then the next thing we're going to add is going to be a teaspoon of the Old Bay seasoning. I asked my husband, I said, how much do you think it needs? And he said, oh, a teaspoon should be fine. So that's what I'm going to do. And then the last I'm going to do is 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne, just for a little kick. And it's a good thing I set the camera over here because I keep going to my drawer for more utensils. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mix this up so that it's well combined. We want those seasonings to be throughout the dust, throughout the coating that we're going to make. So, and I don't know if this is too much or not. This is the first time I've actually made this recipe. So we will find out if that's enough, which I think it probably is for the 2 pieces of fish, but we'll see. All right, so here's the fish. And as you can see, one's long and thin and one's short and thick. I mean, when you get these bags, it's kind of like, let's see what happens. So what I'm gonna do, first of all, is check on my pan. And yep, that is melted. So I'm gonna bring it out and show you that the butter is all around the bottom. And so I'm gonna put that over here because that's where I'm gonna put my fish once we crust it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put it in the egg wash and then put it into the crust. That was a big piece of pork rind there, so that's why I pulled it out. And as you can see, this does really get very coated very well, very easily. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put that into here. Oop, looks like it needs a little bit there. So I'll just go ahead and do that. And then we will do the second piece. I like this recipe because it is pretty quick, especially if you have, you know, just a couple of pieces that you're using. And there we go. I guess it's a good thing that I used the amount that I did because these are really getting crusted well. And it looks like we're going to use most of it, if not all of it. Oof. Okay. So this side isn't as bad, or it doesn't need as much. So I'm going to go ahead and I should have used a bigger bowl. Oh well, that's what these videos are for, is learning how to cook something new, right? So I'm going to put that in there, and then I'm going to take the rest of the crusting and put it on top. There we go. Okay. And let me show you what we've come up with. Let me get my... All right. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the oven, and then I'm going to clean up my workspace, and I'll be back to make some spinach. All right, I am back, and the next thing we're going to make is spinach. Now, like I said, this is going to be southern spinach, not spinach greens, not northern spinach. I don't know, not creamed spinach. That's what I want to say. It's going to be more southern. So southerners will take bacon and they will put it in with the greens that they have, and they will cook it and cook it and cook it and cook it until everything is done. What I'm going to do, because I'm making a quicker version, is I've already chopped up 2 slices of bacon, and I'm going to go ahead and pre-cook it a little bit. I want to get the bacon grease out of there. I want to get it a little pre-cooked, but not to the point where it is too crispy and crunchy. So that's what I'm gonna do. When I got married, this was one of the recipes I had to learn how to cook. My husband is from here in Tennessee, and I'm originally from Illinois and Michigan. So this was something that I did not know how to cook, and I tackled it one night, and my husband said, "Oh wow, that's amazing, you did a great job." Personally, I am not a big cooked spinach fan. I have texture issues at times, and one of those textures is cooked spinach and wilted lettuce and stuff like that. So I will not be eating this tonight, and because I don't like it, I tend to forget that my husband does. So I wanted to make sure and cook him a really, really good dinner tonight, because I always forget, and I need to not do that. I need to make sure and cook some things that he likes. So I've got this on high, and it looks like the bacon is going to start cooking. But it's funny, when we first got married, I grew up on frozen vegetables like frozen green beans and frozen peas and frozen corn and vegetables like that. And he grew up on canned. And you know that there is a vast difference in canned vegetables and how they look and frozen vegetables. And the first time I made him green beans, which of course, being Southern, they're going to be cooked to death and then cooked a little bit longer. They're going to have bacon grease and bacon and ham and all sorts of other things in them. And when I cooked, first of all, when I opened the bag and I put them in the pan, my husband looked at them and went, "What's wrong with those green beans? That's just the wrong color. They're not supposed to look like that. That's just gross." I mean, he was just very adamant about how it looked, and so he wasn't going to eat them. And of course, Southerners like their vegetables very soft and tender, and being from up north, I'm more used to stir fry and crisp tender, and so I will have to say that over the years, he has gotten used to my cooking, where we like our vegetables less done, and he's gotten used to the color of it, but he still will go back to his roots, and he loves spinach, cooked spinach, creamed spinach, and he's not a big turnips fan, but he loves spinach made this way. So I'm going to go ahead and make this for him tonight, and I hope that you guys like this recipe as well. So the bacon is starting to cook, as you can hear. It's really starting to sizzle a lot. It's starting to render some fat. So in another minute or two, I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients. So today was a snow day. It was a lot of fun to wake up and there was snow all over the road, and by 2 or 3 o'clock, it had pretty much all been burnt off. So I was able to get out, and I did go to the gym today. I was disappointed I didn't get to go to the gym yesterday, but I was able to do it today. So that really made me happy, and I asked him, I said, when I went for the hydro massage, I was like, "Can I have 15 minutes instead of 10? And they said, "Sure." So I got a really, really good hydro massage today as well. So I was really excited about that. And then we went out and we did a little bit of grocery shopping, so I can just stay home and relax tomorrow, do some more cooking, maybe make you guys another video, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so let me show you. The bacon is starting to get a little brown, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next step. Now, when I was at Aldi today, I found this spinach. It was 99 cents for the, I'm going to turn this down as well. This was 99 cents for the box. So I felt that was a pretty good deal. The only other thing they had was in a bag, and it was organic, and it was like almost $2 or something, and I was being cheap today. So I didn't get that. But as you can tell, here's the beautiful green spinach. The unnatural green, as my husband would say. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there. I've been, this is about a half thawed out block. I tried to thaw it all the way out. I guess I didn't realize I didn't get it thawed out enough. But anyway, I've got the spinach in here. And then the next thing I'm going to put in here is going to be a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder. So I just want to stir this up a little bit to get it cooking. And then we'll go ahead and add a little bit of garlic powder and a little bit of onion powder. And I'm also going to add a little black pepper. Ooh, that smells good. And a little bit of salt. Doesn't need a lot of salt because, of course, we are using the bacon grease. And I'm just going to stir all this up so it gets well combined. and I'm gonna go ahead and let it cook. Let me show you what it looks like. Doesn't that look good? All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my burner down to about 2 or medium low. And I'm gonna go ahead and let it cook. I'm probably gonna stand here and stir it for a while just because it doesn't have as much liquid in it as I would like, and I don't want it to burn. And I actually think that my burner is not working properly. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stand here and stir. And I will tell you that I did put the fish in the oven, and it's been going for about 10 minutes now. So I'm gonna take a quick look at it and see. It's getting there. My timer says I have 7 minutes left. I set my timer for 15 minutes, and so let's see, I'm gonna turn this burner off, see if I can reset it so that it'll go to a low temperature, because we don't want these to dry out. So I might actually have to go downstairs and grab some broth out of the refrigerator and put it in here, because that'll make it really yummy too. So I think I'm going to do that. So let me pull this off of the burner and I will be right back. All right, I'm back, and I have my container of broth, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on the burner. And I'm going to take a 1/3 cup measure of the broth and just put it in here. And then I'll turn my burner back on low. The point of southern spinach is that it is loose, it's not dry. So that's why I wanted to add the broth to this. All right, that's starting to look good. I'm liking how much looser it is, if you can tell. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on the burner. We have about 5 minutes left until my timer goes off for the fish. So when the fish is finally done, I will bring you back and I will show you how everything ended up. All right, we're back, and I think we finally have the fish cooked. If it doesn't work, if it doesn't taste good to my husband, I'm going to cut the fish out of this video, because obviously I am not cut out to make fish. But I want to let him go ahead, and I'll show you what it turned out like, in case it does taste good. And there you go, we've got the fish and we've got the greens. So I'm gonna hand this to my husband and let him try it and see if I overcooked the fish, undercooked the fish, or how it tastes. Well, is it any better?
That's good.
Okay.
That's really good.
Okay, good. All right, so I think I got the fish cooked all the way through. Like I said, I do not cook fish. I don't know fish, and so this was a little bit of a struggle for me. And he loved the greens too. He got little bits of bacon in there, and he said it was just amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and post this video tonight. I guess I'll put it in with the fish, and hope you guys like this recipe. I'm not a good fish cook, but it's something. Yeah, I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying. We actually have some salmon in the freezer, and so I went and I looked, and the salmon actually has like 14 grams or 18 grams of fat per serving. So we are definitely going to be switching to the salmon versus the cod, so just keep that in mind. And I hope you guys have a good night. I hope you enjoyed cooking dinner with me tonight.